Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll. My week's laundry consists of my loungers or robes and pajamas and garden grungies. So I thought I would have this morning just let you see the way it is in my lounger when I did my intro for today's post. I'm sure everybody else is probably in theirs too, even on this Palm Sunday. Today is Palm Sunday. I remember last Sunday when we went to church and all the kids came into the adult church sanctuary and came in with their palms and gave us a little program, and it was wonderful. And today we can't go to church because we're all trying to do social distancing to stop the coronavirus, which, please Lord, let that work for us. But you know, it is a beautiful Sunday morning. It's a little bit cool, but we've had some drop down to 30 degrees in our temperatures, and I was afraid it would probably nip a bunch of it in the bud, especially our little redbud trees. But it looks like they're going to make it, so maybe so will our lilac bushes and all the other things that were budded out. You can see that I put a few more plastic bags on, and I've got to take those off today so they can get some air and get going again. These that you see right across here are actually my neighbor's lilacs. They always smell so pretty, and the scent, of course, wafts right over to me. I'm going to go over here to my seed boxes and see if there's anything in them that's left. And I think there is. I think maybe it did not kill everything. Maybe it just didn't stay down below freezing long enough to kill them, which is wonderful. All these little ones that are coming up here are bells of Ireland, and they don't like to be transplanted, but I'm going to try to transplant some of these. I'm going to try to wait until a good rainy day and just come out here when it's misting or right after, and hopefully be able to get them started someplace else. I'm pretty sure this right here is a weed, but I don't know. I may leave it there for a little bit just to see. These may all be weeds for all I know, but I did plant some flowers in here, so I'm going to wait and see what becomes of them. This, of course, is columbine. I took a little snapshot of, or a little clip of it before for you, but it was a little bit blurry, so I'm going to see if I can get it. Hopefully this will be a little sharper. This I did not cover. I didn't think of it. But it looks like it did weather fine, so that's wonderful. And our little flowering almond is just about gone. All the blooms are turning old and coming off. There's some pretty ones still right there in the center. And now that the forsythia bushes have turned green, we will need to come out and trim them. Always trim your forsythia bushes just right after their bloom, because right after that they begin to make bloom for next year. So you don't want to cut your bloom off. And you don't have to trim them. We do, because they'll get right out to where we can't mow under them. So I will trim those off pretty short, and they will grow through this summertime and put on their bloom again next season. And this is my little lilac bush. It's called a Josie Reblooming lilac. And I hope it didn't get it. It doesn't look like the frost, it doesn't look like it got it. I think it's going to be fine and be in full bloom and have some more pretty spring color just a little later in the spring. This little red tulip or red orange tulip is still looking pretty. As is the pretty carpet phlox. It looks like some of my clematis did get nipped a bit, but there's so much more of it that didn't, so I think it'll still be pretty. I may have to clip some of that off of there and give the good a chance. And I put these out. I had saved them through the winter. Inside they're actually geraniums, but I don't know if any of them will come back. I also planted a crinium bulb right in the center of that, and hopefully it will make it. A good deal of the succulents that I had in this little pot did come back, as you can see. Thank goodness. I love this little variegated sedum right here. Actually, I love it. All these little ones too. And there's the red. So actually a bunch of these will spread out and keep going, and they may just fill that little pot up all by themselves, but I also may put another little something in there with it to fill it out a little quicker. Yesterday it was cold and I did not get out here until about 3:30 or so to get anything done, but I did get quite a bit done. Actually, I finished, remember I told you I got up to this little area right here cleaning out. Well, I did go ahead and finish this little area. There is quite a bit of weeds and not grass, mostly was weeds in here, and then I cleaned that out, and I of course cleared away all the old debris from last year, or enough of it that the new stuff it can come through and look nice. We actually went ahead and trimmed some of our grasses. My husband helped me with these, and we learned on a YouTube post. This is because I still haven't got my stuff up on the wall of the outside buildings. I'm going to do that maybe even today, but maybe not until tomorrow. We'll see when I get that done, hopefully soon. But this is one of the grasses. This is a fountain grass, and what we learned on YouTube was if you just take it around close to the bottom and tie it, then cut below where you tied it, then you've got your little bundle pretty much together. Some of it seems to always escape, but the biggest portion of it you can just pick up and throw away, and it just makes it so much easier to trim it down. Put a few things back on not on the walls of the building, but actually along the railroad ties in front of the building. This was one thing I had on it previously, but I couldn't get it to set up straight there, so actually what I ended up doing was just putting it in this little pot, and I like it there. But this is the area where I went ahead and glued some on, and I do glue it on. I use Gorilla Glue, but and the reason I do that is because when I come out with the watering hose, and the pressure of the watering hose can send them just flying, and I have to pick them up each time. So this way I don't have to do that. This little bear is not glued on because I'm not sure. I don't think that's where I'm going to keep it. This, I mentioned that my great nephew Trey had painted an angel for me, and I had it on last week's post or the week before that, but this one his brother Ben painted for me. No, I'm sorry, that's not correct. He also painted, Trey also painted this one for me. I'm going to have to go back around to the front and show you the one Ben painted for me. So here I am back in the front, and this little pot needs to be filled up and has something beautiful in it to show off this beautiful little bird that Ben painted for me. I love it. I have a picture of him doing it, and his mother is sitting at the table along with myself and Trey, and it was a wonderful time that we had before they lost their mother, and I'm just so glad we had that time. But isn't that a beautiful bird? Look at all those colors. Never would I have thought to painted it so many colors. I would have not had it that beautiful if Benjamin hadn't been here. Ben, you make my life more beautiful. So I'm back in the back again. I wanted to show you a little bit more of the stuff that I did get done. And today I hope to get a lot more done. I hope to get some stuff back up on the walls at the storage building. This little Asylum is blooming even more. So I did get all this area cleaned out, and all the way toward the back, all the way to the front, but then just right next door, right next to it, is a bunch of stuff that I have not cleaned out yet, and I need to get that done, and I will try to do that this week. It's just so much of the old dead debris still needs to be taken out. You can see the new growth coming on. There's the old dead stuff in there with it. I've got to get that all out of there so it can really shine and look good. And oh, look, this is my Weldula, and though some of it seems a little nipped from the cold, it does seem like it maybe still has its bloom on there. I hope it does. I hope it'll bloom and be gorgeous. And there's a little bud right here, a clematis bud that'll soon open up. It looks like my bleeding heart got nipped a bit from the cold, but I think a lot more of it is still alive and looking good. So hopefully it'll still finish out and be pretty. And I think my Lenten roses have just spread out and gone to town. It just looks so good anyway. They have gotten bigger than ever, even though some of the bloom may be fading. The plant itself is looking great. And I have some Heuchera coral bells that are a little cluster of them gathered together here, and I just love them. They don't sometimes last through the heat though, but they're beautiful. And look, there's another weed that I missed. I've got to get that out of there. So the plan was to show you what I got done, and I think I've already shown you most that I got done. So this is just going to be more of the stuff I need to do, like cleaning out this pot and the weeds that are flourishing that I need to get out of there before they put on seed and give me thousands of more. Definitely want to clean this old dead stuff off of here. You can see the new growth is coming right on up there through it. So I want to get that cleaned out so it can be pretty. Look how the golden carrier bush has filled out. So pretty. We didn't get rain, but my husband did get this put up for me. So next time we get rain, we can actually see how much we got. Oh, what a mess still that needs to be cleaned out. And I must get it cleaned out soon because, oh, when this clematis or clematis blooms, I want you to be able to really enjoy it. It's such a beauty. Oh, look, I thought this was all dead, but it's coming back. I knew sometimes it did, but this one I really didn't have much hope for. It looked so bad, but it's actually looking so good right now. I have to set that little girl up and get her in there where she'll stay. Clean out the old debris and let that one shine. I can also see that I need to do some liquid edging because under the fence, all the old weeds that come up, and of course they put on seeds and drop down over here, and I've got that all coming up into my garden, my flowers, and I've got to get that up and take care of that situation. I wish I could have done it before they even made seeds. This, of course, is a beautiful dianthus, but right there beside it is some henbit going to bloom, which will soon follow suit by going to seed. So this is my job for the week. I don't know how much of it I'll get done, but I do know that with the helping grace of God, I'm going to try and just see how much of it I can get done. I believe this is daisies, and they look like they need to be divided, so I'll have something to put in another area if I find a spot that needs something more. It looks pretty pathetic right now, but it will look good when it's all cleaned up. It's going to look great. And I think right behind here, that's probably a weed right there, and I definitely need to get that out of there too, because it too is putting on bloom, which will put on seed. But this entire fence row needs to be cleaned out, as well as everything that you see in front of the little well house there, all the way over to the area that I cleaned out already, which is under this old umbrella clothesline. I probably need to paint that because it does look like an eyesore, but it's going to be a wonderful trellis when the Major Wheeler honeysuckle gets all over that. I think it's going to be gorgeous. Oh my goodness, I just realized the beautiful peony that I had right here is no longer here. That's not good. I wonder what happened to it. And it was so beautiful, such a beautiful pink with a tufty center. But we do have peony buds, several of them all through the garden. And these are dianthus blooms. They're really just starting now, but it won't be long till the garden will be full of dianthus blooms. This, in this little pot, is yarrow. It's a beautiful pale pink yarrow. I also just realized that my Easter post has nothing to say about Easter, the day that I'll put a post on for Easter. And then this post, today is actually Palm Sunday, but when I get it on, it will be the day after Easter. So I did want to say, even though it'll be a week late, I hope you had a happy Easter, and that we always remember that Christ went from this to this, and that He did it all for us. Listen and see if you can hear the honeybees in the redbud tree. Please be sure to like and to subscribe to our channel so we can go on lots more garden scrolls together.